President Donald Trump said he reached the framework of a deal on Greenland. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, January 22nd. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. It was a day of twists and turns in Davos, Switzerland yesterday. President Trump backed away from his demands to take control of Greenland. He said he had reached the framework of a deal. He offered few details about what that meant, but it probably falls far short of the full takeover of the Danish territory that he had previously demanded. Trump also scrapped planned tariffs on Europe and said that talks were underway with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte about bolstering security in the Arctic. Trump's declaration was a sharp pivot from his speech earlier in the day, in which he issued an ultimatum to European leaders over Greenland.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative. Or you can say no, and we will remember.
During his more than hour-long speech, Trump also repeatedly mixed up Greenland and Iceland.
They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money.
Today in Davos, Trump led a signing ceremony for his Board of Peace. Trump is marketing that body, originally conceived of to oversee reconstruction in Gaza, as an international peace-building organization with permanent seats costing $1 billion. The death of an ICE detainee in Texas was officially deemed a homicide. That's number 2. Geraldo Lunas Campos was a 55-year-old Cuban man who was detained at Camp East, Montana in El Paso. The government said he died this month during an interaction with guards after being placed into solitary confinement. Yesterday, the El Paso County Office of the Medical Examiner released an autopsy report. It listed the death as a homicide, which examiners said was as a result of asphyxia due to neck and torso compression. An expert who reviewed the autopsy said the finding does not imply intent to kill, but rather that the death was caused by another person. The findings shed light on the mystery of Lunas Campos's death, which has in recent days become the subject of conflicting explanations. Number 3. Israel killed 3 journalists in a Gaza strike. Rescue officials and local reporters said that the Israeli military struck and killed 3 journalists yesterday as they traveled in their car south of Gaza City. One of them, Abdel Raouf Shat, was a freelance cameraman who was a contributor to CBS News. The 3 reporters had been recording footage of a tent encampment for displaced people and were killed after leaving the camp. That's according to a spokesman for the Egyptian Relief Committee they were on assignment for. The Israeli military said in a statement that the men had been operating a drone, quote, in a manner that posed a threat to their safety. Israeli forces have killed about 220 journalists in Gaza since the war began in October 2023. That's according to Reporters Without Borders. More than 460 people, including over 100 children, have been killed by Israeli fire since the ceasefire agreement was reached between Israel and Hamas last October. President Trump's quest to remake the nation's capital has found its next target. That's number 4. Last year, the president rapidly demolished the White House's East Wing annex to build his planned $400 million ballroom. He paved over part of the Rose Garden to erect a patio, and he has imposed his vision on internal fixtures and rooms, including the Lincoln bathroom. The latest project is in Lafayette Square. That's the public park directly north of the White House. Workers fenced it off this week for work that will initially focus on repairing the park's fountains, then other features. Trump has also expressed interest in repaving the park's walkways to remove bricks he fears could be used as weapons during demonstrations. Lafayette Square was the site of protests during Trump's first term. On June 1, 2020, federal authorities forcibly removed peaceful protesters from the square with tear gas. A major winter storm will soon affect 200 million people across the U.S. That's our fifth story. 10 to 20 inches of snow are expected this weekend from the Southwest to New England. Snow and ice will start tomorrow across the Rockies and Plains, push into the South, Midwest, and Appalachians on Saturday, then reach the East Coast on Sunday. The storm will bring dangerous travel conditions. In D.C., the storm could be one of the biggest to ever hit the region. It's poised to have major impacts on roads, schools, airports, and businesses. In our newsletter today, we have a link to a list of which cities will be hit the hardest and when. You can find that in our show notes. Number 6. Federal regulators are targeting talk shows by revisiting a decades-old ruling. Yesterday, the FCC said that network talk shows must give equal airtime to all candidates who intend to run for the same public office. The move, which goes against a ruling from 2006, has raised concerns about free speech and the Trump administration's approach to media regulation. It's not the first time the administration has targeted late-night TV hosts. Trump himself has long complained about being the target of jokes from hosts like Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel was briefly taken off air last year under pressure from the administration. He addressed the latest move on his show on ABC last night.
The president took time from 6,000 miles away to continue his war on talk shows. He shared this story about how his minions at the FCC are planning to make it difficult for shows like ours and The View to interview politicians they don't align with. For real, we are once again getting threatened by the FCC.
The FCC's chairman, Brendan Carr, has come under scrutiny in recent months. Critics say he has used the organization to pressure media companies that are critical of Trump. And at number 7, airlines could see a surprising benefit from the surge of weight loss drugs. A new report suggests that U.S. airlines could save hundreds of millions of dollars in fuel costs as Americans get lighter. That's because the lighter a plane is, the less fuel it requires, and fuel is one of an airline's biggest expenses. Over the years, airlines have found other ways to cut weight and costs. They've removed in-flight magazines, used lighter beverage carts, and other strategies. But they couldn't control their passengers' waistlines. On the other hand, as the report noted, airlines also stand to lose money thanks to another effect of weight loss drugs. They might end up selling fewer snacks on board. All right, you're all caught up. It's a great time to subscribe to The Washington Post. Right now, you can unlock your first 6 months of access to the Post for just 50 cents a week. After that, it'll cost $14 every 4 weeks. You can cancel anytime. You'll get unlimited access to trusted journalism that helps you make sense of what's happening now and what's ahead. If staying informed is one of your goals for the year, this post-holiday sale is the perfect place to start. Go to WashingtonPost.com/subscribe and start the year informed with the Post. That's WashingtonPost.com/subscribe. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.